Who doesn't love a good patrol? Here at Wigley, the patrols are starting to take over, and today we've got this single cab with canopy and Dogbox set up. Let's go have a look at it. Now this tray on this patrol is essentially an extra cab tray. So your Hilux extra cabs, your Navaras, all those types of extra cabs, this is the same size tray. So it's a 2040 tray by 1850 wide, same headboard as your Hilux, Dmaxes, all that sort of stuff, and it suits the patrol perfectly. Now it's not too wide, it's not sticking out. The patrol's already getting a bit on that wider side anyway. So the tray sits nice and snug here behind the patrol. We've got the under tray toolboxes, which is incorporating the factory fillers for this patrol. This patrol's got two tanks, it's got a main tank and a sub tank. So we've moved the fuel fillers into those positions, back into the factory positions. And then these boxes are also vented. When you've got fuel and stuff like that, you want to make sure that your box has a vent on it and it's not fully sealed, as you want those fumes and fuel to escape. So two big under tray toolboxes. We've also got a flare guard. That's to suit a 37-inch tire, and that can be adjusted to suit offsets and all that sort of stuff as well. So adjustable guards on there. In the headboard, we've got a 30-litre headboard water tank, and that is also plumbed up to another tank under the tray, which I'll talk about when we go around the back. The tray is all aluminium, and the only steel we use is in the chassis rail, which is zinc plated and then powder coated. And then from there, the tray base goes on, and that is all aluminium. Now this build incorporates two canopies onto the back of this tray. You've got your sealed canopy at the front, and then you've got your dog box at the back. This customer's into his hunting, wants to be able to put a dog box on, take his dogs around. The versatility of this setup means that he can take the sealed canopy off, move the dog box up to the front, he can put this canopy onto the back. Whatever configuration he wants, he can do. Just bolts straight into the nutsert system of our tray. So what we've got is just your standard sort of dog box setup. There's no floor in our dog box. Just makes it easier to wash out, especially after the dog's been running around. They can jump in. When you get back home, it's just simply just washing it all out, and it's not going to be, building up water in the canopy and getting to spots where you can't dry it out. So no floor, just make it easier when it comes to washing up. We've also then put in some carpet as well, so the dog's paws are all good on the aluminium tray floor. We've also got lighting in here as well. On the canopy door itself, we've got canvas, so that just rolls down and you're able to zip that up. And that just protects some things from the elements. So if you've got some dirty gear you want to throw in the back there, but you don't want it getting too wet, at least you can zip it up and keep it all out of the elements. On the roof, we've got our tri-bar system, so that's more for your rooftop tents or just carrying longer items, or if you ever need that roof storage without going for a big premium rack that we do, you've got your 3-bar system. And also we've mounted a solar panel to the roof of the canopy just to help with that battery life. In this side of the canopy, we've got just bulk storage. So we've got lighting in the door, you've got 2 big drawers for storage, and then we've also got a flat platform on top. Now this customer wanted a flat platform with no lip on it, anything like that, because he wants a swag to be able to slide in. That was the main purpose of this canopy, was to house stuff in his drawers and then slide a swag into the canopy. And within the bracing ourselves, we utilize a few different things. So we've got our nutsert system, which goes all the way through the bracing. So you've got nutserts in the bracing on the roof, you've got on the sides here, so you can mount shelves, you can mount fire extinguishers, you can mount switch panels, whatever you want. If it bolts in, it'll go straight into the nutsert of the bracing. And then we also have these cutouts on the side, and they're for rocker switches and like cigarette lighters, USB plugs, all that sort of stuff. So we've got a SIG socket here just to utilize that space, keep the wiring out of the way. So that just runs all the way through the bracing, so you can charge your phones or drones or whatever you're doing. If it's going to a cigarette socket, you can charge that. 45-degree angle bracing is always on our canopies. That's there to hold the strength in the roof, so you can put your rooftop tents on, large loads from work, whatever you're doing, carrying on the roof, it can handle it. And then we've also got our cable tracking in the roof, so you can hide all that wiring out of the way, zip tied up into the roof, so it's all out of the way, not seen. Now, around the back of the patrol, there's one key difference. That isn't our standard tail light, it's not what we use, and that was just a one-off for this customer. So at the back, you've got your Altique reverse LED lights, and they're hooked up to your reverse, so you've got a bit of extra light, especially when you're reversing at night and you want to see. There's no reverse camera in this car, so it makes it really hard to see out of when, especially when you're reversing, so that extra flood at night is just ideal. We've got a 900 drawer out the back here, and then you've also got your table there that can come in or out. It's also moved backwards and forwards based on what setting you want. Bit of extra prep space if you're cooking or just servicing something on the side of the road. You've got your spare wheel on the back. That can go up to a 37-inch tyre quite comfortably. And then we've got our chainsaw box. You fit your chainsaw in there. You can fit your 2-stroke, your bar oil, all that sort of stuff in here. You've got your spare space with spare chains. You've also got an axe holder here as well. So everything you need to, say, start a fire, a camp or anything like that, all fit in here, and that's where it all is. And it's also lockable, so you know that you've always got a chainsaw with you and it doesn't have to sit with you inside the car. Now, I mentioned water storage before, so we've got a 60 litre water tank underneath the tray, and then we've also got the 30 litre headboard tank. So we've got 90 litres of water all up in this thing, and that is all forward of the axle, all up front, and then you've got your 900 drawer out the back. The water is gravity fed on this Patrol. There's no tap option, so that comes all out back here. So you've got nothing protruding out the side of the tray for taps or anything like that. Yeah, the 2040 extra cab tray suits perfectly on this single cab. The rear section is just aligned just in front of the tow bar, gives this Patrol a nice, fat, staunch look, and we think it looks absolutely mint. I know Peter's got his eye on this, especially for the extra cab that he's building, and I cannot wait to see that. This vehicle also has some drop down sides, so if the customer's going away but he doesn't want to take the Dogbox, the Dogbox can be removed. All of these items just directly bolt straight to the back of the canopy. He's also got then some drop down sides to chuck on the back, so if any dirty storage or firewood goes in, at least it's not going to fall out. So that's what the hinges are for on the back here. So around the passenger side of the vehicle, Dogbox, it actually has a platform in here for when the customer wants to add another fridge in. So he's got a platform for his drop down slide to go into, and then you can mount another fridge there. You got your partition, so you can have your dogs on one side, your fridge on the other, or you can take this out and you've got dogs on either side. Again, it's got the canvas cover on the front of it. On the roof here, we've got a customer supplied Camp Boss 270 awning. In the roof of edge canopy, it's got a Anderson plug port to run power into both canopies. The customer wanted an Optima yellow top battery, which would fit in the engine bay. We've also chucked in a red arc DC-DC charger for him. And then that is able to then run all of the power in these canopies, and then it's got a plug on the top, so if you want to take them off, it's just simple, pull out the plug, and then that canopy can be removed. Rear box is just for storage, and the front box here, we've got our ARB air compressor. So that's the main compartment of this canopy. We've got a 40 litre Evercool drawer fridge. We use these in our vehicles for freezers. They're a perfect size, don't take up a hell of a lot of room. And because this customer wanted to be able to fit his swag on top of the drawers, he didn't want a pantry, so we've just filled the space with another drawer, which can be useful for your cooking stuff, you know, oils, sauces, taller items, just to use the space. Otherwise, it's just going to be a bit of a waste. So we've chucked in a drawer there rather than a pantry because of the swag situation that the customer wanted. Again, we've got all of our lighting, which lights up inside the canopy on the door. We've utilised the bracing again to fit 2 cigarette sockets here. So you got USB charging, and then we've also mounted the fuse panel to the roof using the nutserts in the bracing. We are absolutely stoked with how this thing has turned out. And I know Peter's already got his eye on it for some ideas for his extra cab build, which I think is going to be fairly similar, and I think it's going to look great. This single cab's got all the boys at work talking about it. All the patrol boys are absolutely loving it. It looks neat, it looks tidy, and a very versatile setup for your camping, your touring, your hunting, or just day-to-day life. If you want to see more of this build, jump on our Instagram, jump on our Facebook. If you want to build for yourself, you can email us at info@wigleengineering.com.au. You can call us at 9794 8311, or jump onto our website and you can fill out an online quote form and you can build your own train canopy on there, and you'll receive a quote same day.